Oh boy, I have a lot of feelings on this one.
A lot of mixed feelings.
Yes.
I would imagine. Would you say that they're so mixed that they might be part metal and part flesh and bone? I know that was terrible, but it had to come out.
Yes, they're that mixed that I attempted human transmutation and I lost my limbs.
You committed the greatest taboo in alchemy.
My brother is now a suit of armor.
All right. All right. So, in the same vein as the Attack on Titan series,
which I don't care about,
anime, we have another anime that is making the jump to live action.
Don't do it. Don't say it. Don't do it.
So, there's a lot here that I plan on talking about. But the trailer dropped.
You didn't even say, you still haven't said what it is.
Oh yeah, Fullmetal Alchemist.
No!
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Why?
Live action movie. Live action movie based on the very popular anime and manga.
I'm out. I'm going through that giant door thing with the eye. I'm out. Going to the real world, the World War II.
Now,
or whatever.
Before we really get into the negative parts about it, I will say
there's positive. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying there's some positives.
Let me hear it, because oh boy.
So okay, I'm gonna try to leave the references to the Attack on Titan movie that was also done to minimum. I didn't see that, but I've been told it's bad.
For some reason,
cringeworthy bad.
Japanese people cannot have good special effects in their movies. Why not?
I don't think they're terrible. They're just not as good as what you get with like a Hollywood budget.
No, they look like they belong in the early 2000s.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of feel like the industry is, it's of course behind where Hollywood is right now. But you know, I don't think they look like absolutely horrible. Like I can't watch it.
The Titans.
Just the special effects in general.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think they look horrible, but they definitely look dated.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that we don't really get to see a whole lot of Al, but what we do see of Al looks good.
I mean, yeah.
Like that looks very.
Is that
accurate.
Animated or is that real? It looks real.
I don't know. It looks CGI to me.
Really?
Yeah. I think.
Kinda, yeah.
It's when that reflection off the metal is just a little bit too clean and a little bit too perfect.
Yeah.
That's the giveaway for me.
And when it starts moving, I know I'll be able to tell that it's CGI.
Yeah. That's usually when you.
Can we talk about how Ed looks like he's like 26?
So, if you
but continue with the positive.
Yeah. Okay.
Please. And I'll shoot him down.
So, I mean, it looks pretty faithful to the anime as far as what you're seeing with alchemy. I think they did. They did. A
thing came alive, and it bugged me. You can't make things come alive, guys. That was the whole point of the show.
Here's my deal. I don't think it was alive. I just think it was something represented by alchemy. It's kind of like, okay,
it was an entity. It was moving. It looked so stupid.
I think whenever Armstrong would like do his things with like the statues of the busts of his head,
yeah,
would
but
like
they didn't
come
move.
out.
No one does that.
I'm pretty sure in alchemy you could make something move like that.
But it wasn't. The thing is, it wasn't like connected to the ground.
I mean, Ed's always making.
It wasn't connected to the original thing whoever was doing the alchemy contacted with. You know, it was like.
See, but I think one of the things they want to do is they want to show you something that you didn't see in the anime.
And who knows? Maybe that's like a key plot.
And I just think it's I wouldn't give it that much credit. I think it's just trying to show you alchemy doing something in a way that it has been done in the show, because I think it's just going to be a very temporary attack. Like it hits something and then it's gone. You know,
still bothers me.
So, but I think they did a transmutation of like one thing changing into another that was pretty cool. It was like dust or some kind of like dark material that represented something changing. It was in the very beginning of the trailer. But I feel like of course.
Oh yeah.
So Edward's wardrobe they got down,
but not his.
His hair looks terrible.
Yes,
the wig, bad. The
looks
obvious
like a Halloween costume wig.
Yeah, the obvious wig that is obvious. Is
Japanese people aren't blonde.
Okay,
he's not Japanese in the anime.
And
he's
American.
He's white.
I want to talk about that.
I'm not racist.
He's not okay. Well, and he's not even American. He's European.
Yeah, European. He's white.
Basically.
Which Europeans have blonde hair. Japanese people do not.
So, okay.
That's why it looks bad. I'm sorry, but it looks bad because he's Japanese. That's why the blonde hair looks bad. That's why it looks like a wig. Like, even if he was even if it was dyed and you could clearly tell that, it would look bad.
Let me introduce this aspect of this topic because we very much like Japanese culture. We very much like Japanese
I own
people.
all 27 of these manga. Don't start with me about how much of a fan I am.
People get all upset about Dragon Ball Evolution. There's plenty of things to get upset about with that movie. That was
American made, though, right?
It was American made. Plenty of things to get upset about with that movie. One of them is not the fact that Goku's a white guy.
Because in the show...
Guess what? He's an alien.
Yeah.
And there is no Japanese culture in the show because they're not on the same Earth.
The thing about...
They don't have the same
The thing about these adaptations is that The problem you have is when Japanese people when they make manga and anime, they draw white people.
They don't draw big eyes.
Except for Sword Art Online, where unless it's set in Japan, they draw white people. But in Japan, unfortunately, where you're gonna make a movie, you have Japanese actors.
Is his name what's
Kirito?
Kirito, that's right. I first thought it was just Kyo, but no, Kirito. He is Japanese. Yeah. If he were played by a white guy,
looks a little pale,
he would look weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, they always draw, like, not always, but a lot. Most of the most popular animes, they're white people. But in Japan, when you're getting actors, there's not a lot of white people to choose from. Yeah. So they have to use Japanese actors, which is the problem.
Yeah. But when it's a character like Goku, it doesn't matter what his race is because you're always going to be wrong because. The only Asian thing in there is like some of the, of course, you know, he has Japanese characters on his outfit, but that's more for the viewer to, you know, if you read Japanese or speak Japanese to know what that symbol means. And then you have, of course, some of the settings are very inspired by, because it's inspired by Journey to the West, which is a Chinese fairy tale. It has a very Asian influence, but this is not Earth as we know it. This is an alternate version of Earth in Dragon Ball. Then people got upset about Scarlett Johansson being cast as Major in the Ghost in the Shell movie, which is coming out. And, of course, her name is Motoko. And she's...
Wait, that's an anime?
Yes, that is an anime.
Heard of that.
And...
Is that American made?
The movie is going to be American made. And people are all upset because... And it does take place in Tokyo.
So, is the main character Japanese?
The main character's a cyborg!
Oh.
And guess what? She's kind of... I don't know. She has big eyes. I mean, in some, and with that anime, it's they kind of do different things. Like there's different versions of the anime. Some of them she looks more American. Some of them she looks more Japanese. It's very open to interpretation, but you don't have to like lose your mind and just be like, oh, I can't believe Hollywood is just washing it all over again. Scarlett Johansson is the popular female action movie actress that you go with. You don't name someone who's Japanese that could do that role.
I don't know any Japanese actors.
No, that could pull in a crowd, by the way.
Yeah.
Because if a movie doesn't make money, it kind of doesn't serve its first, prerogative. And see, to make money.
That's the thing about the characters that just doesn't really work for the Japanese adaptations that they make over there.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have a problem either way. If America was making this, if people in America were making this Fullmetal Alchemist movie, I can't even imagine how it would yes, and how it would be butchered.
Also,
probably.
This guy. Okay, now this is not the same as try not to overreact to this, but the guy who's playing Edward is, I want to say, in a boy band over there. Now, no. Okay, that's your initial reaction. I have a lot more respect for J-pop or Japanese rock more so than Americans, because they haven't gotten to the point where, like, I feel like the artists there genuinely have a love for what they do. They're not just in it to make money.
How do you know? You can't understand what they're saying.
The market over there is very different than what it's over here in the U.S. Now, my mom was a singer in the 90s. She had a couple of albums here and record labels. So I got a little bit of inside knowledge of what, or exposure to what the American music industry is like. It's very political and money driven. You gotta have the right connections, all that stuff. Of course, I haven't been over to Japan, but it just seems like from what I've seen of it, I mean, there's you can look up stories and stuff about. I mean, gosh, one of my favorite musicians, Nobuo Uematsu, who composed most of the Final Fantasy games, never went to music school.
Oh wow!
And his music is legendary.
But this guy's a singer and he's acting, so that not that it's gonna that his Japanese acting is gonna bother me. But
it's weird though, because it's kind of like, Justin Timberlake playing the role. Like, I don't know, Justin Superman,
Edward,
Elric. I'm trying to think of like an American equivalent, but. So that's weird, but you're right. He doesn't look like Edward, because Edward is supposed to be a very European
German. Probably he's blonde
looking. Yeah. Now, and by the way, it made sense in Attack on Titan, I believe, because I believe they're Japanese anyway.
They look, yeah.
So it works there. It does not work here. The wig looks terrible. And I just, there's no getting around it. It just looks bad.
Okay. Another thing, aside from characters, content, you cannot fit all 27 of these manga, into a movie. No.
Do you think that's what they're going to try to do?
If they do, then that's going to be horrific. I don't know. Are they gonna want to make more, like multiple, to carry on a story, or are they just gonna see? We really don't know enough about it, or are they really just gonna make up their own thing?
Yeah,
I don't know. Either way, I don't see how.
By the way, his name is Ryusuke Yamada, the boy band singer. And apparently, so the director is Fumihiko Sori. And he said that when he was being interviewed about the movie, he said, "I want to depict something that follows the original work as much as possible. The cast is entirely Japanese, but the setting is Europe."
That makes sense.
However, their race and nationality isn't expressed in a specific form.
Except for the fact that they're Japanese and they're speaking Japanese, That might express it in a form.
I just... Well, oh my goodness.
What?
I am going to repeat this one comment. Someone said, Japan just lost the right to ever complain about a white actress in Ghost in the Shell. So apparently, it's basically, it's kind of doing the same thing, except, by the way, she's a cyborg. Edward is a human being born in Europe. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And I kind of feel like these movies, as I don't know, like I see something like that, I'm just like, the idea of a live action Fullmetal Alchemist movie sounds really cool to me.
But the thing about this again is 20 something year old Edward does not work. There's always that struggle of finding a child actor. I'm not more really a child. He could
he
be
does
around.
Look short. I mean,
he's Japanese. I mean, wait, what? I'm not racist. But anyway.
You're just pointing out an obvious physical trait.
Yeah. But he could be. He doesn't have the kid. If America did do this and got like a child actor, he doesn't have to be 16. He could be 18, almost 20, as long as he looks young enough, like the Spider-Man guy. Like the guy,
yeah. There are actors out there that could do this.
Yeah, and But so like I don't know, could maybe like the Japanese studios and America studios, could they maybe work together on this to where you can have a Japanese version and an English version, but the actors are American, like where they act, like maybe where they act out in English, but then there's a Japanese dub of it, because like you want Japan to have the full power over it because it's their it's originally their
work
stuff,
belongs to them,
but it just doesn't work with the characters.
It really does not. In my gut, I feel like it's not going to be good. Like it's just something I can't shake.
It'll be interesting though to see how they do all the sins and stuff.
Yeah,
Hohenheim. I don't know.
I don't think they're going to try to squeeze the whole thing in there. I just think it'll definitely be summarized and shortened. The story that they represent.
And if they try to cram that in there, then that's going to be a hot mess.
That'll be a disaster. Yeah. So I'm sure we'll get some more of these tidbits in the months to follow.
Yay.